Namamishwarang Sachid Anandarupang Lasat Kundalang Gokule Brajamanam. Yashodabiyo lukalad davamanang paramrishtam atyantato rutya gopya. Yo lukalad davamanang paramrishtam atyantato rutya gopya. Yashodabiyo lukalad davamanang paramrishtam atyantato rutya gopya. Yashodabiyo lukalad dhavamanang paramrishtam atyantato rutya gopya. So that is the first verse of the Damodara Ashtakam prayers, that those who are religiously following this Kartik Damodar Vrata, we sing this song in the morning and in the evening. And for me, the entire month is simply a constant meditation on this very special pastime of Krishna, Damodara. Very, very special. So I'm going to speak, of course, but we're going to hear Damodar from the version of Kunti. First, let's hear a translation of this first verse. I bow down to the Supreme Controller. What's his name? Damodar. Good. Good. Or another name? Krishna. Very good. I guess we have some waking up to do. I bow down to the Supreme Controller, whose form is composed of eternity, knowledge, and bliss, whose earrings play and swing. Who can tell me what is the nature of Krishna's earrings? They look like sharks. And who is splendorously manifest in Gokula. But he is in fear of his mother, Yashoda Devi. So he gets down from the wooden rice grinding mortar and runs away. However, that Gopi, Sri Yasoda, very much quickly chasing after him, finally captures him from the back. Now, before I go any further, I actually should have started with this. This is my new, how shall we say, invocation prayer that I will be doing henceforward before I do any preaching. This month, I have lots of preaching opportunities. Thank you, Krishna. Because that's what I live for. Before I was a devotee, when I was Nick Demian, a wannabe rock star, I would live for a phone call. All right, we need you tonight, come perform. So at the last minute, boom. And that's how you lived. It was called, well, now they call it, they have some term, busking, yeah. Anyway, that was my life. I guess it was preparing me because I'm doing the same thing now. I'm singing, talking, schmoozing, cajoling, whatever it takes. And this excerpt puts me in the right meditation. Of course, this is from that famous poem, I spoke about it a while ago, Prabhupada's Markine Bhagavat Dharma. So I've with Jamita's permission, edited it to suit my purposes. My dear Lord Krishna, you were so kind upon this useless soul, but I do not know why you have brought me here. Now, you can do whatever you like with me. I know your causeless mercy can make everything possible because you are the most expert mystic. O Lord, O God, O Krishna, I am simply praying for your mercy. The words of Srimad Bhagavatam are your incarnation. And if a sober person repeatedly receives it with submissive oral reception, that's important, then one will be able to understand your message. In this connection, since we are sitting here and we're trying to hear this message of Godhead, there is another important instruction which I have also been meditating on, and that is Sutta Goswami, in the beginning of Bhagavatam, is explaining to the sages of Naimisharanya. And he says, I am here and I'm going to tell you what I heard from the very first recitation of Bhagavatam by Shukadev, heard by Parikshit, and Sutta Goswami was in attendance. And right towards the end, before Shukadev leaves, he points Sutta Goswami out and says, this person here in the future will repeat this Bhagavatam for the sages of Naimisharanya. And that is how the Bhagavatam begins, that scene. So Sutta said, I heard him with rapt attention. And Prabhupada comments, that's the secret of hearing, rapt attention. How will I make them understand this message of Krishna consciousness? I am very unfortunate, unqualified, and the most fallen. Therefore, I am seeking your benediction so that I can convince them, for I am powerless to do so on my own. Somehow or other, O Lord, you have brought me here to speak about you. Because that's, when you're sitting here, that's the job description. If you're going to sit here, you have to talk Krishna Katha. That's the only way you're allowed here. You have to speak Krishna. And not only that, you have to speak according to parampara. And in this movement, the parampara, here he is, our founder Acharya, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Somehow or other, Lord, you have brought me here to speak about you. Now, my Lord, it is up to you to make me a success or a failure as you like. O spiritual master of all the worlds, I can simply repeat your message. So if you like, you can make my power of speaking suitable for their understanding. For only by your causeless mercy will my words be pure. And I am sure that when this transcendental message penetrates their hearts, certainly they will feel engladdened and thus become liberated from all unhappy conditions of life. So this is my intention. This is what I'm trying to do. This is exactly what I'm trying to do. I want you to, by the end, I want you to feel engladdened in your heart and thus become liberated from all unhappy conditions of life. O Lord, I am just like a puppet in your hands. So if you have brought me here to dance, then make me dance. Make me dance. O Lord, make me dance as you like. So today's selection, that's called the preamble. That's setting it up. So now we begin the exact verse. And since I'll be speaking on Bhagavatam, let's honor Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Jamunatira Vanachari. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Basadi Gaur Bhakta Brinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Basadi. Everybody sing with me. Hare Krishna, come on. Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, I must chant. Please repeat. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And one more. Om Namo Bhagavate Damodaraya. Do you approve, Javita? Ah, I got thumbs up. Thank you. I'll give myself a bell. So in the first canto, there is a nice section. The way Vyasadeva has composed the Bhagavatam under the instruction of his guru, Narada Muni, he begins with the aftermath of the Battle of Kurukshetra. That's the scene after Yudhishthira and the Pandavas have won. So after the Battle of Kurukshetra, Krishna's business is finished in Hastinapur. So he's ready to go back home to his 16,108 wives in Dwaraka. As he's getting on the chariot, Kunti, the mother of the Pandavas, stops him. And she addresses him with very nice prayers. Prabhupada, it seems Prabhupada was very fond of these prayers by Queen Kunti. He lectured in New York on them, in Los Angeles, in Mayapur, and our Bhaktivedanta Book Trust. Davida, did you work on teachings of Queen Kunti? Yes? No. One of the rare books you didn't work on. Anyway, it has been published. They took those lectures, intertwined it with the Bhagavatam and the purports, made a very nice book, Prayers or Teachings by Queen Kunti. So one of those prayers of Kunti, as I said, talks about this Damodara-leela. Gopi adade twayi kritagasi damatavad yate dashasru kalilanjana sambramaksham vaktrang naniyabhaya bhavanaya stetasya sa mang vimohayati bir api yad bibeti. So, translation, perhaps you can repeat. Let's get involved. Sit properly. All right. Please repeat. Please indulge. My dear Krishna, Yashoda took up a rope to bind you when you committed an offense, and your perturbed eyes overflooded with tears, which washed the mascara from your eyes. And you were afraid, though fear personified is afraid of you. This sight is bewildering to me. So, in these prayers of Queen Kunti, there's a string of verses where Kunti explains how she is bewildered. So and we're at the end, I'm going to leave the last portion, and we're going to carefully go over Prabhupada's purport. But I want to set the scene, set the mood, so that when we get there, you're primed, you're ready to actually hear the words of Srila Prabhupada. So, Yashoda took up a rope to bind you. So this Damodara-leela is because Krishna and his elder brother Balaram, they're under 5 years old, but they are behaving, quotation marks, like ordinary human children. They're playing. And for Krishna and Balaram, they're enjoying it. So, Krishna and Balaram have been very mischievous, as we sometimes see on TV shows. Previously on Krishna Loka, Balaram and Krishna have been quite naughty. They go to the neighbors' houses and steal the butter and yogurt. Whoa, God is a thief? That's not all they do. Sometimes they disturb and bang the pots and pans and cause a disturbance. Or if the little children are sleeping, they pinch them so they wake up. Or sometimes they pass stool and urine in other people's houses. Yeah, quite nonsense activities. So, the neighbors, they lodge complaints to Yashoda. They go to her. Hey, your son, he's doing so much mischief, stealing our butter and yogurt and all these other crimes. What are you going to do? And of course, Yashoda calls Krishna over. And of course, Krishna says, I didn't do my... pleading innocence. But actually, they were not really complaining. It was an excuse for them to go and see Krishna. Because what is this Gokula? What is this Vrindavan? It's not some mundane vacation spot. No. What makes Vrindavan so special? Actually, there's 1,000,001 reasons. But for me, what I like, how I understand Vrindavan, Vrindavan is that place where everyone and everything simply loves Krishna. That's it. And not only that, Krishna loves them. That is love. Love cannot be one-sided. I did a program yesterday at somebody's house and also on Friday night. So I was explaining, even in ordinary relationship, husband and wife, friend, it cannot be just one-sided, I take and you give. No, give and take. I give to you, you give to me, I take from you, you reciprocal. This is something I very much like about this philosophy. This philosophy of Prabhupada, of Bhagavatam, Krishna, Chaitanya, this philosophy is so sweet, so complete, so satisfying. Here I am, 75 years old. I came in contact with this philosophy at the age of 22. And it's simply been one level after another, deeper and deeper appreciation. That's what I like. It's not stagnant, it's dynamic. I remember, if you will excuse me, before becoming a devotee, there was some song. The deeper you go, the higher you fly. The higher you fly, the deeper you go. So come on. That is Krishna consciousness. You get into Krishna consciousness, it propels you. Prabhupada even explains. In one place, he explains, why do we study Bhagavatam? One answer, to become more attached to chanting. Everybody chant. Yes, we're hearing this so that we'll become enlivened and enthused to chant better. Because chanting is not a mechanical process. Chanting is not snick, snick, no. There has to be energy. There has to be devotion. There has to be conscious effort. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Each syllable, concentrating, meditating, and saying it. What did Prabhupada say in the beginning? Like a child crying for its mother. It's a crying out. That's why I call it, chanting is like transcendental blues. In the material world, there's a type of music, the blues. My baby don't left me. Yes, material separation. But in spiritual life, we should be feeling separation from Krishna. 99% of the people in the world, they're feeling separation from kama, sense gratification. But devotees, they are feeling separation from Krishna. All right, so Krishna has been charged with various offenses. So this pastime of Damodar took place on a day all Indians consider the best day. What day is that? Diwali, right? All Indians consider Diwali the best day, am I right? It's been my experience. That's coming up very soon, a week from tomorrow, Diwali. So on this Diwali day, 5,000 years ago, Yashoda was thinking, my son, he's so restless. Perhaps he's going to others' houses, the neighbors, stealing their butter and yogurt because he's not satisfied with what he's getting at home. So Yashoda's thinking, okay, today I'm going to make special butter and yogurt for Krishna. Now, Yashoda, she's the queen. So she has some special cows. There are hundreds and thousands of cows. Yashoda has special ones. And those cows are fed special grasses. And with those grasses, these cows make very exceptional milk. Now just think, this is another thing I've been preaching. The cow has mystic power. You give me grass, I'm not going to make milk. But a cow has been given that mystic power by Krishna. You give it grass, it gives you milk. What a mystic power. So the scene is Yashoda, she's churning, right? And this is another point I like to make. Here's the mother of God, and she has housework. It's not that, oh, I become the mother of God, I sit back and I watch TV and the servants bring me linka. No. She's working, just like you work. Ladies, I've said it, nobody works harder than a woman, am I right? Yes. Come on. Tell them. Yeah. I know. From my wife, I know. And she reminds me. That's important, because us men, we're kind of stubborn. So, Yashoda, now, while she's churning, she's singing songs. She's singing songs, either she has composed herself, or she has gotten some local kavi or poet to make. And what are those songs? It's all about Krishna's childhood pastimes. Because Yashoda is in complete Krishna consciousness. She cannot forget Krishna for a moment. That's Krishna consciousness. We see in Bhagavad Gita, when Arjuna asks that important question, how can one transcend the modes of nature? Very important. Because as long as I'm under the grip of the modes of nature, I'm not free. I want to be free. I remember when I was a hippie, the last thing I wanted to do was to get enlisted in the army. And I even wrote a song, I choose to be free. So ever since I can remember, since a little child, freedom was the most important thing to me. I had to be free. So Prabhupada points out, you are not free. You may think you're free, but if you're under the grip of the modes of nature, even the mode of goodness, you're not free. So this verse, chapter 14, text number 26, this is how you become free. Mang chayo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samati yaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. So, to be free means brahma bhuyaya kalpate. You regain. Very important word, regain your original pure status as liberated soul. And that's a whole nother lecture in itself, which could actually go on for a week. Perhaps Dravida would do a seminar on that someday. What do you think, Dravida Dasa? Yes. So, this verse is saying, you want to regain your original status as liberated pure spirit soul? You have to engage in bhakti, devotional service, non-stop, 24/7, 52, 100. Continuously. As long as you are engaged in devotional, what you're doing right now, you're doing the first step, Shravanam, hearing. I'm doing 2, hearing and chanting. Previously, we were doing 3. We were hearing, chanting, and worshiping. And later, when I finished my vituperation, we'll do the 10th process, prasadanam, my favorite. Yes, there's actually 9, but I add that 10th. But so far nobody's chastised me yet. So, Krishna says, if you can stay engaged in one or more of these items of bhakti, then you have transcended. You're free. You've regained your spiritual status. Okay. So, Yashoda is churning. She's thinking, singing the pastimes of Krishna. Meanwhile, Krishna has been taking a nap. He's a young boy. But he wakes up. And as soon as he wakes up, he goes to his mother and he wants to drink the milk from her breast. And Yashoda, she loves her son Krishna. Now keep in mind, Yashoda does not look at her son as God. No, that conception is devoid, it's gone. She only sees my beautiful son. She stops the churning, takes baby Krishna on her lap, and she begins to feed Krishna her breast milk. All of a sudden, there's a sound in the kitchen. What is that sound? The milk has boiled over. Anyone had to clean a stove when the milk boils over? That ain't fun. Scrub and scrub. And I remember when I was in the temple, Bhakti, one of the first days. Bhakti, go to the kitchen, clean the pots. I was thinking, I never cleaned a pot in my life. What did I join this movement to clean pots? But then he explained, he said, Prabhu, when you clean the pot, and they used to always say it, Prabhupada said, that you're cleaning your heart. So I said, oh, okay, I like that. Clean the pot, I'm cleaning, okay. So I tried to do the best, and every temple has what is called a temple commander. The temple commander is like the drill sergeant. Go here, do this, now do this, jump here, do. So I thought I finished. Temple commander said, you're not finished. I said, what? You see these little black spots? They have to come out. I said, are you nuts? Go back there and clean. Every speck of black had to come out. That's how I was trained. I don't think I got him out because those black spots were there for 12 years or more. But I had to do it. So, Yashoda now has a dilemma. She's feeding Krishna, but she's got to go to the kitchen and take care. So she interrupts Krishna from his breast milk feeding, puts him down, and goes to take charge of care of the boiling over milk. Krishna doesn't like this. Krishna is thinking, I'm not finished. What is my mother doing? So Krishna bites his lip and takes a stone and throws it at the churning pot, and the pot breaks, and out comes the butter yogurt. But Krishna's not done. He steps in it, takes some of it, and runs away. Meanwhile, Yashoda finishes taking care of the milk on the stove, and she sees, oh, my child, he has created now a nuisance. He has broke the pot, and she can figure out where Krishna has gone because two things. Krishna's feet have special markings on them. That's why I always say, if somebody says, I'm God, ask them, okay, you're God? Show me your feet. And if all they have is cracks, you're not God, you're dog. Because Krishna's feet have special markings. That distinguishes, not that somebody can say, I'm God. No, you have to actually be God. So, Yashoda can trace out where Krishna has gone, and she finds Krishna, and he's climbed up a wooden ulukala, grinding mortar, and what's Krishna doing? He's taking the stock of yogurt that's hanging and distributing it to his friends, the monkeys. Anyone been to Vrindavan? There are so many monkeys. They'll take your beads. They'll take your cell phone. They'll take your... These monkeys are really rascal. They'll take your glasses. So the monkeys are Krishna's friends. But not only is Krishna doing that, but he's looking like this and this because he knows, I know I'm being nonsense and my mother's going to come soon. All of a sudden, he sees Yashoda with a stick. He freaks out. He jumps down. Anyone been hit by a stick? I've been. Sister Mary, whatever her name was. Yes, I remember. On the hand. I think her name was Sister Mary Virgin. Whoa! I was a good boy after that. So Krishna's running because he doesn't want to get caught. And it takes a while for Yashoda to catch up to him, but finally she captures him. Now what is Krishna doing? Again, playing. He's acting like a human child. So he's shaking. He's afraid of his mother, as it was said here. This is why Kunti is bewildered. Because Kunti knows Krishna is God. She's aware of, she opened her prayers by saying, you are God. So Kunti very well knows who what his position is. So here is Krishna, he has been caught. So he's trembling, he's shaking, and Krishna wears a pearl necklace, so the necklace is moving. And Krishna wears, ladies, you know, kajal, right? You ladies all wear kajal, right? So because Krishna is actually crying, what happens? The kajal starts to smear down his cheeks. So Yashoda has the stick. Krishna is crying, rubbing his eyes, shaking. Yashoda, because she's good mother, she thinks, the punishment doesn't fit the crime. If I use this stick, it might have some psychological effect it may disturb. No, she throws the stick away. But then she thinks, but this child is so restless. I can't get any housework done. I've got to do something. So she decides, I will bind him. I will tie him up to this wooden grinding mortar so that he can't go about and do more mischief. Now, mysterious thing happens now. So Yashoda, she's the queen. She has servants. Chalo, bring me more rope. Bring me rope. So she tries to tie up Krishna. And when it comes time to tie up the last knot, it's 2 fingers too short. Jaldi Baba, bring me more rope. So more rope is added. But when she tries to make the final knot, it's still 2 fingers too short. All right, bring more rope. So more rope is brought. And again, when she tries to tie the final knot, it's 2 fingers too short. By this time, neighbors have come. And they're like, they can see something funny is going on. At some point, Yashoda gives up. So when Krishna sees that Yashoda has become totally flabbergasted, Krishna says, okay, now I will allow you to tie me up. That's key. Even though Krishna is playing, he's still God. He's playing, but it's not that he stops being God. He's still God. And the word is used, ananta. Everybody say. Ananta. Krishna is unlimited. Can you tie up the sky? You can't tie up Krishna. So, what is Krishna telling us? And the Damodara-leela song tells us more than once. The word, everybody say, Bhakti Badham. That wasn't everybody. Bhakti Badham. Thank you. All right. Krishna cannot be tied up by any ropes. Krishna cannot be tied up by any modes of material nature like we are. Remember I said in the beginning that we're under the modes of nature, so that's like ropes, guna. There's no material quality in Krishna. So the only thing that will bind Krishna, your pure love. And this to me is the most important aspect of this philosophy. Lord Chaitanya says it, prema pumarto mahan, beyond liberation, beyond religiosity, beyond economic development, beyond sense gratification. And that Damodara-leela prayer twice says, beyond liberation. What is it? Love of God. And again, reciprocal. As Prabhupada says, the residents of Vrindavan love Krishna, and Krishna also loves the residents of Vrindavan. So Krishna now allows himself to be tied up, not by ropes, but Mother Yashoda's pure affection. That's the key. Sometimes there will be passages, readings, and it'll say that God is conquered or Krishna is conquered by the devotees. But Prabhupada qualifies it. Not exactly the devotee. The devotees love. That's the key. The devotees love. So Krishna allowed himself to be tied up, and Yashoda is thinking, oh, now I can go back to doing my housework. Meanwhile, Krishna is thinking, what nonsense can I do now? My mother thinks that she has tied me up. He looks out into the courtyard. and he sees two big trees. And he goes, yes, I know about those trees. In those trees, there are two sons of the demigod Kuvera, Nalakuvra, Manigriva. And they were cursed by Narada because previously those two demigod sons, they were very, very naughty and bad. Very, very. So Narada cursed them. Narada thought these two demigod sons of Kuvera are acting very, very wrong. They have become degraded. So I will punish them. But when a devotee punishes us, it actually is a benediction. So he said, oh, you want to stand naked? Good. Become tree. Stand naked for hundreds of years. But where? In the courtyard of Krishna's father's house. And Narada desired that Krishna would deliver them. So Krishna says, as far as I'm concerned, I have got nothing to do with this Nalakuver. They're nothing to me. But my devotee wants me to deliver them, therefore I will do it. So that's significant. That it was Narada's desire. Even in that poem, Prabhupada's poem, there, I didn't include it in my invocation, but there's one line that says, my Lord, their deliverance is only possible by your mercy. I desire that you deliver them. That's the mark of a devotee. A devotee's only concern is how to deliver the fallen conditioned souls. That's the true mark of a devotee. So because Narada desired it, Krishna delivered the two sons, Nalakuvra and Manigriva. So let's hear. Now I think you're ready. Are you ready to hear Prabhupada's purport? Yes. All in favor say Damodar. Damodar. All right. Here is Prabhupada's purport. So here is another explanation of the bewilderment created by the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord is the supreme in all circumstances, as already explained. Here is a specific example of the Lord's being the supreme and at the same time a plaything in the presence of his pure devotee. The Lord's pure devotee renders service unto the Lord out of unalloyed love only. Unalloyed means pure. When a metal is an alloy, that means something has been mixed in. So unalloyed means pure, not dalda. Pure, shuddh ghee. Who likes shuddh ghee? I love shuddh ghee. Even if the doctor says, no more ghee, I would say, no, can do, doc. I can give up everything, but not ghee. All right. The Lord's pure devotee renders service unto the Lord out of unalloyed love only. And while discharging such devotional service, the pure devotee forgets the position of the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord also accepts the loving service of his devotees more relishably when that service is rendered spontaneously out of pure affection. That's key. Spontaneously. Without any reverential admiration. Generally, the Lord is worshipped by devotees in a reverential attitude. But the Lord is meticulously pleased when the devotee, out of pure affection and love, considers the Lord to be less important than oneself. The Lord's pastimes in the original abode of Goloka Vrindavan are exchanged in that spirit. The friends of Krishna consider him one of them. They do not consider him to be of reverential importance. The parents of the Lord, who are all pure devotees, consider him a child only. The Lord accepts the chastisements of his parents more cheerfully than the prayers of the Vedic hymns. Similarly, he accepts the reproaches of his fiancés more palatably than the Vedic hymns. When Lord Krishna was present in this material world to manifest his eternal pastimes of the transcendental realm of Goloka Vrindavan as an attraction for the people in general, he displayed a unique picture of subordination before his foster mother, Yashoda. The Lord, in his naturally childish, playful activities, used to spoil the stuck butter of Mother Yashoda by breaking the pots and distributing the contents to his friends and playmates, including the celebrated monkeys of Vrindavan, who took advantage of the Lord's munificence. Mother Yashoda saw this, and out of her pure love, she wanted to make a show of punishment for her transcendental child. She took a rope and threatened the Lord that she would tie him up, as is generally done in the ordinary household. Seeing the rope in the hands of Mother Yashoda, the Lord bowed down his head and began to weep just like a child, and tears rolled down his cheeks, washing off the black ointment smeared about his beautiful eyes. This picture of the Lord is adored by Kunti Devi because she is conscious of Lord Krishna's supreme position. He is often feared by fear personified, yet he is afraid of his mother, who wanted to punish him just in an ordinary manner. Kunti was conscious of the exalted position of Krishna, whereas Yashoda was not. Therefore, Yashoda's position was more exalted than Kunti. Actually, in the 10th canto, when this pastime is fully explained, Shukadeva Goswami says, actually, the position of Yashoda is greater than Brahma, greater than Mahadev, greater than Lakshmi. And he says, who is always the better half of Narayan. Yashoda is even greater. Mother Yashoda got the Lord as her child, and the Lord made her forget altogether that her child was indeed the Lord himself. For if Mother Yashoda had been conscious of the exalted position of Krishna, she would certainly have hesitated to punish him. But she was made to forget this situation because the Lord wanted to make a complete gesture of childishness before the affectionate Yashoda. This exchange of love between mother and son was performed in a natural way, and Kunti, remembering the scene, was bewildered, and she could do nothing but praise the transcendental filial love. Indirectly, Mother Yashoda is praised for her unique position of love, for she could control even the all-powerful Lord as her beloved child. Are you enlivened? Yes. Did I succeed? Yes. Did I pass the audition? Can I come back again? Yes. Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Javita Das, would you like to say a few words? We always like to hear. Shri Javita Uvacha.
Okay, so this is a little poem I wrote encompassing this Damodara-leela. But there's two words you have to know. You may not know it. One word is pique, P-I-Q-U-E. P-I-Q-U-E means he was disturbed in a pique, Krishna. And the other one is imp. The word imp perfectly describes Krishna in Vrindavan in this mood. It means a little boy who's very mischievous. Is that Krishna or not? Okay. At last, Yashoda caught her naughty child, who smashed a pot of yogurt in a pique. Though seemingly annoyed, she felt beguiled by little Krishna's loving charm unique. Oh, imp, I've caught you now, but do not fear. You see, I've sewn this stick upon the floor. But I must bind you with these ropes, my dear, lest you increase your mischief more and more. And so Yashoda bound her little son, who hid his glory to evoke her love. The blessings she enjoyed are never won by gods and goddesses who dwell above. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. All right. Thank you very much. For what it's worth, I'm just going to share with you that so far this year I've taken this month of Kartika a little more seriously. I'm really making an effort to hear and chant and meditate more and more on this Damodara-leela, and immediately I am seeing so much return on my investment. So I encourage you, take advantage of this month, because you're going to get more return on your investment. So this month you want to max out. You want to max out on chanting. You want to max out on hearing, reading. You want to max out on, now the temple will love me, your donations to the temple. Yes, do as much devotional activities as you can, just for your own benefit. Thank you very much. I hope to see you next month. And may Krishna bless you and protect you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.